Known for their arcade hits like Robocop, Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninja, and their abundance of licensed pinball machines, Daddy East were one of the more solid developers for the time. Their NES created and published games were kinda a mixed bag though. Some of them were mediocre like Cobra Command and Breakthrough, while others were turds like Tag Team Wrestling and Karate Champ. So today I wanted to share with you the brighter side of their catalog and showcase my top 5 favorite Daddy East NES games. I'm doing an honorable mention here for Karnov because this overweight guy kind of became the company mascot. Well, at least to some of us. Was it the most polished or slick game out there for the time? No, not even close. But the platforming was decent. You could collect a lot of different power-ups like the pair of wings that can make you fly around the screen, as well as your fireball that could be upgraded. The enemies are weird and interesting even if the gameplay is a little clunky. I like the game quite a lot, but I understand why some people don't. It's not for everyone. Captain America and the Avengers is vastly different from the arcade and 16-bit console ports. Those were straight up beat-em-ups. The NES port was made into an action platformer. You can switch between Cap and Hawkeye in this game, and you travel around the good old USA and in between levels and pick where you want to go. The action is solid and both Avengers play a little differently. Hawkeye has a long-range projectile attack and can shoot in different angles, while Cap can use his shield to attack or defend respectively. He can even use his shield as a boat and float on water. Kinda strange. The game is quite long, however, and can get a little tedious fighting the same mini-bosses over and over again, but the music and graphics are really good and I think it's definitely worth a try, so have at it. I grew up renting and then owning the original Robocop as a kid and always liked the game. It's a straight up action game where you can shoot and punch all kinds of baddies to oblivion. Was it a direct arcade port? No, which is a bummer because the arcade game was awesome, but it's still good. Although one thing that always bugged me was the fact there's certain areas where you couldn't use your gun and had to punch crooks out. Those parts suck. You do however get a few different weapons to add to your arsenal like a submachine gun and the Cobra assault cannon which mows down everything in sight. The cutscenes were a nice touch, and you get bonus rounds to play in too, and the game is quite challenging. With 3 games on the NES alone, this is by far the best one. Daddy East also dipped their toes into the beat-em-up genre with Bad Dudes. With a title like that, you would think that this was a 2-player simultaneous game, but it isn't despite the 2 guys on the cover. I'm getting flashbacks of POW from SNK again, man. It really is one of the biggest drawbacks to the game because it's called Bad Dudes and not Bad Dude. Anyways, you can pick up knives and nunchucks as well as use your numerous martial art moves to dismantle your ninja foes, which works pretty well. You can even charge up your punch for a stronger attack too. I think above all else, the music always stood out to me. It's really catchy. And hey, you can fight Karnov since he's hanging out in the first level, so that's pretty neat. There's lots of fun to be had here, so definitely don't skip it.
I'm bad.
Surprised? Don't be. Joe Mack is a game Retro Matt and I used to rent quite often from Blockbuster. It's an excellent 2-player action platformer that has you in control of cavemen out to rescue their women. Along the way, you can pick up a variety of Stone Age weapons like axes, boomerangs, and even a wheel. The dino bosses are the real draw here and are huge in comparison to you. I love how big and cartoony the T-Rexes look, and the flytrap always spooked me as a kid. I hated that thing. The game is on the shorter side, but I think that helps it a little bit and not overstay its welcome. 2 big hairy thumbs up here for Joe and Mac. Top-down run-and-gunner that is 2 players simultaneous? Sign me up. Armed with an assortment of state-of-the-art weaponry that would make Rambo blush, we guide our nameless hero into an underground nuclear site to blast away evil terrorists. Scattered around the complex are keys that will give you access to lockers that are littered all over the place. Jeez, where's a good maid when you need one, eh? Inside them are a bunch of power-ups and pieces of a special prototype weapon called the Heavy Barrel. You can use the gun for a limited amount of time and just blast through everything in sight. It's great. This is by far my favorite game from Daddy East. The graphics aren't anything fancy, but the music and gameplay are really solid. If you're looking for an excellent 2-player NES game, I would recommend you give this one a try.
Arcade Arsenal, Robocop and Bad Dudes for Nintendo.
Well guys, that wraps things up for another video. Leave a comment down below and tell me what are some of your favorite games from Daddy East. I'm Will. For those about the retro, we salute you. Take care.
Bad Dudes, the forces of good have never been so bad. If you're bad enough, then you're good enough for Bad Dudes and Robocop for Nintendo.